Straight all day.
You are now tuned into the show where you learn the discipline to show up day after day, to do the work, the confidence to put yourself out there boldly and authentically, and the mental toughness to continue showing up, doing the work, putting yourself out there even when the success you've expected to achieve has yet to be achieved. And on top of all this, you get a huge dose of personal initiative. That is the go-getter energy that moves any one of us, including yourself, to go and make things happen instead of waiting for things to happen. And then we put all this together into a series of frameworks, approaches, insights, strategies, and techniques, all underneath the umbrella of one unifying philosophy that is called work on your game. My name is Baldwin, also known as Dre All Day, and welcome to the show. And today's topic is how to get to your goals faster, how to actually reach your goals faster than the pace that you are currently at. I think this will be a useful topic for everybody who's listening to this. So before we get into that, let me tell you, when I have a daily motivation text message that I send out free of charge every morning to everyone who's in my text community. This is a message guaranteed to keep you focused, sharp, and on point. So if you want to be those things, text me at this number, 305-384-6894. And every day when I send this message out, you shall be a recipient. Now one more thing. WorkOnYourGameUniversity.com. That is where you take your next step in working with me. If you would like to be coached by me, a lot of people ask me if I offer coaching. The answer is yes, but how do you get into my coaching? There's one way. Go to WorkOnYourGameUniversity.com. People ask me about my courses. Dre, how can I get into that 30 Days of Discipline course you have, or the Bulletproof Mindset 2.0? I heard you have a course called Next Mission that's about transitioning from one career to the next, and one called Business Builder that's about the fundamental building blocks you need to put your business together, or a course about selling yourself, or one called 25 Hours is about managing and controlling your time, or one called the Work on Your Game system where you lay out the whole process of how Work on Your Game works. Oh, all of those are true. Those are not rumors. Those are all true stories. You get access to all of that by going to WorkOnYourGameUniversity.com. And also, I send out 2 physical mailings every single month. One of them is called the Bulletproof Bulletin. If you're watching on video, you can see it right there behind me. And also the Masterclass Black Book. I send both of those out every single month to your physical doorstep. The only way you can get those is by being a member of the university by going to WorkOnYourGameUniversity.com. Now, getting into the topic, I would assume that everybody who listens to any type of show, like Work on Your Game or anything else that's personal or professional development based, you have goals, you have desires, things that you would like to achieve, whether they're vague wishes or you're really dialed in as to what you want to achieve. But I think everybody has things they want to do. That's the only reason you will listen to any kind of developmental show, because these shows are all about, like a show like this one is all about, how do you get better? How do you make yourself a better individual? So it'd be useful for you to understand how you can get to these goals faster. Why? Because you don't have unlimited time. So you want to get to these goals as quickly as possible. So apply these principles that I'm going to share here today to the current goals that you already have. And I guarantee you, if you apply these principles to your current goals, you will get to your goals faster. I guarantee that. Faster than you would have had you not applied them. Let's get into it. Point number 1. Today's topic, once again, is how to get to your goals faster. Number 1, be more specific. Every goal that you have, the more specific you can be about what exactly the goal is and how exactly you will achieve it, the more specific you can be, the higher the probability you will reach it. The human brain responds to specificity. That means being specific, not vague, not just out there in kind of some big, wide, broad idea. But the more specific the idea, the more specific the directive, the easier it will be followed and the more likely you can depend on it to be followed. And the human brain controls human beings. So guess what? Everything I just told you about the human brain applies to human people as well. So if you have a person who's working for you, or you tell somebody you want them to do something for you, the more specific you are as to exactly what you want them to do, how you want them to do it, where they need to go, what they're doing, why, all of that, the more specific you can be, the more likely that they will actually do what you want them to do. Now, any of you who has experience in dealing with human beings, you can probably co-sign what I just said. And if you have experience dealing with human beings and you gave them a vague goal and they kind of didn't get it done, or they only did kind of some of what you expected them to get done, don't blame them, blame yourself, because you weren't specific enough. The more specific you are, the more likely things get done. And this applies to, again, you talking to someone else. It also applies to when you are talking to yourself, i.e. when you're giving yourself goals. It's like if you are driving with the GPS and you tell your navigation to take you to a certain place, it will take you to a general area but not a specific location. So for example, I'm in Miami, Florida. If I put in my GPS, take me to Jacksonville, Florida, it will take me to Jacksonville, Florida, but not to a specific place in Jacksonville. It will just take me to wherever is on the map. This is Jacksonville. You're in Jacksonville, sir. We did take you where you asked the GPS to take you. But if I put a specific location in Jacksonville, like the post office on this corner, or a certain school, or a certain business location, it will take me to that exact spot of where that place is. So your brain is kind of like that GPS. If you give it a general direction, it will take you in the general direction, but it might not get you exactly what you want. And when it comes to goals, you want exactly what you want. That's why you need to be very specific as to what your goal is, so that your brain can give you exactly what you want and not a general idea of what you want. So if you tell yourself you want to make more money, don't just say make more money. Tell yourself how much more money. Human brain works the same way as the GPS, specific goals. So give yourself a specific dollar amount. So you know how much money you made last year and you want to make 10 times more money. Get out your calculator and calculate how much is 10 times more money, and give yourself the goal of that exact to the dollar amount of how much you want to make this year. That's what I mean when I say get specific. If you want to, again, double your income, get an exact number. If you want to lose weight, talk about the exact weight target that you want to hit. So if you're 220 pounds and you want to lose 100 pounds, don't say lose 100 pounds. Say I want to be 120 pounds. Give yourself a specific amount of where you want to be. These specifics may seem to simply be semantics or details that are not that important, but I'm telling you that they're important, so now you know they're important. Details matter a lot. Anyone can apply this right now to any goal that you have. The more specific you are, the more likely it is you are going to hit these goals. Be specific as to what you want done. The brain operates off of specifics. It operates also off of images. So if you can give yourself an image of that specific dollar amount, or that specific weight, or that specific outcome, whatever it is, the more clear you can make it for yourself, the more clear your subconscious mind gets it, and the more likely you are going to hit it because you gave yourself an exact address in the GPS. Point number 2. Today's topic, once again, is how to get to your goals faster. List your reasons for reaching your goals. Having goals is a good thing. You should absolutely do that. If you have goals, keep them. Make more of them, as a matter of fact. At the same time, you want to give yourself reasons for reaching these goals, keeping in mind that emotions move us to action, while logic simply justifies and explains the actions that we want to move ourselves to. So you need emotional reasons that will move you to do the things that logically make sense to you. So if you got an idea, I want to do this, this, and this. That's the logical part. You want emotional drivers that will help push you to go and achieve those things. So what I'm suggesting that you do here is take time to write out what your reasons are for achieving your outcomes. These are the emotions that will be your gas pedals, as I talked about in episode 2155. Emotions are great gas pedals, but they are terrible steering wheels. And you want your reasons written down the same way that you have your goals written down. The more reasons you can give yourself for achieving an outcome, the more opportunities you're giving yourself to activate yourself to do what you need to do and achieve your goals. Even the most logical amongst us needs these emotional triggers that act as the gas pedal that moves our cars forward, metaphorically speaking, while the logical reasons are the steering wheels that direct our actions. So the logic is how you decide, this is the direction I'm going to go. All right, that's you getting specific as to what your goals are. The gas pedal is the emotion. That's what's going to push you harder in that direction where you want to go. And you can get specific with these reasons too. I really want to make this money because I'm tired of dropping my kids off at daycare, and I want to be able to be a stay-home dad or a stay-home mom and take care of my kids all day. I don't want to leave them with anybody else. I want anybody else taking care of my kids or raising my kids. I want to be able to spend time with them all the time. Or I don't like the fact that I'm not able to take care of these behind bills that I got to deal with. So I want to make this much money and give yourself a specific amount, and then I'll be able to take care of that, and I'll have all these other things taken care of, and I can get my credit taken care of, and I can handle all these other issues and bills that I need to take care of, all these other things that need to be paid for, and help my family out, and I can do everything I want to do. You want to get really, really specific. The more specific you are when it comes to your goals, again, the more likely you are to hit them, and it matters as well when it comes to your reasons for hitting the goals. Keeping in mind, again, that emotions are what drive human beings to action. All of us are driven by emotions. Some people wear their emotions on their sleeves much more openly than others, but every human being is driven by emotion. And we express that drive of emotion in different ways. Some people express their drive of emotion in a way that you can't even really tell. They're not outwardly emotional, but there is an emotion driving their actions. If someone's very disciplined and very consistent, there's an emotion driving that consistency. If someone is haphazard and they're all over the place all the time, there's an emotion driving that. Even though it may seem one of them, you can kind of read their emotions because they're putting it out there for everybody to see. Another person, you can't even tell if they have any emotion at all. But there's an emotion driving everything that human beings do. So knowing this applies, and knowing that it applies to you as well, you want to figure out what emotional drivers push you to do your best work. And if you are over the age of 21, this is the self-reflection that you should be doing enough self-reflection on yourself that you know the answer to this. If you don't know the answer, 2 resources I would direct you to. One is my mental workbook, which you can get at workonmygame.com/workbook. And the second is my Bulletproof Mindset 2.0 course inside of workonyourgameuniversity.com. But you need to know what are the drivers that really push you to do what you do. And the better you understand that, the better you can basically push your own buttons and move yourself to action to do what you need to do when it's time for you to do something. I mean, wouldn't that be a great skill that you had if you knew how to push your own buttons and move yourself to do what you need to do? I think that'll make you a very powerful individual. What do you think? Point number 3. Today's topic, once again, is how to get to your goals faster. Enlist help. This is the 3rd thing you can do. Enlisting help is the hardest one for many people to do, especially since many people are, I don't want to say you are directly antisocial, but a lot of people have antisocial habits. It's not even traits, it's habits. And habits are things that can be developed. You develop these habits of being antisocial by simply not engaging with other people, not going to places where you will be forced to engage with other people. And because you have created a marginal amount of at least comfort in your life, we won't even call it success, but at least comfort, then you're like, all right, you know what? I'd rather stay in this place where I know exactly what I'm going to get, not really deal with other people, and stay at this level of comfort rather than get uncomfortable and go places and get in situations where I'm going to have to deal with other people and actually be social and talk to people and maybe be open, maybe be vulnerable, maybe share some things about myself, maybe have some things noticed about me that maybe I don't want people to notice or see, or maybe somebody's going to notice something that I don't even notice. Some people, many people, would rather not put themselves in that position where they would be a little bit uncomfortable, but would give them the potential to achieve more success. They rather stay where they're comfortable and just stay where they're at. Stay where they're comfortable, and at the same time stay where they're at when it comes to achievement and success. I'm putting this out there to hold a mirror up to those of you to whom I may be talking right now. If I'm describing you right now, I'm holding a mirror up to you. I can't make you do anything about this though. All I can do is point it out. You have to still make the choice that you're going to do something that will put you in a position to engage with other people. And engaging with other people doesn't mean you need to be doing anything crazy. It can mean something as simple as going to an event where you're going to meet people who you don't know. It can be something as simple as joining a group coaching program where now you get to engage with other people in the group. It might not be but 10 people in the group. Now you got 9 new friends. It might be something as simple as joining a mastermind where there's 5 people in the mastermind. So now you got 4 new friends. It can be something as simple as that. But the whole point here is enlisting help. If you want to achieve your goals faster, the easiest way to do this is to leverage other people. You can achieve more through other people than you ever will achieve by yourself. That's why enlisting help matters so much. And that's why it's so difficult for so many people to do, because people simply, the internet has allowed people access to a ton of information and a lot of DIY, stands for do-it-yourself information. At the same time, the internet has also caused a lot of people to stop engaging with other human beings because you have decided that you could just get everything you need through the internet. And maybe, hey, maybe you can. That one thing you can't get through the internet is human connection. Your Instagram friends are not the same as your real life friends. That's one thing, that's one limitation that the internet cannot do anything about. You actually still got to deal with human beings. So if you're a type of person who's not inclined to deal with other people in certain areas in which you have decided that you can do everything on your own, I'm going to push back on that and tell you that you can get a lot more done if you use a combination of what you know, information you can access digitally, and other human beings, all of them. Again, I'm not here to tell you that you can't get a lot done by yourself, but I will tell you that it will take you a lot longer to do it by yourself. simply because even if you have all the information, you still only got one brain, two eyes, one mouth, and two ears and hands. So there's only so much you can do at a time. But let's just say there were two people working towards your goal. You got double the capacity. And let's say there were 10. What if there were 20 or 1,000? And this is what happens when you start leveraging the knowledges, the skills, just the resources, time, money, attention, energy, and focus of other human beings. And not only can you leverage theirs, they can leverage yours. And everybody can help everyone else. That's what we call synergy. It'll be a lot harder for you to do everything by yourself. And if you end up failing, it's because you had one major failing point, the major failing point being you, because you were the only one working on your goal. But on the other hand, if you enlist and enroll other people in helping you get to your goal, and you are helping them get to their goals, you're enlisted and enrolled in their goals, everybody gets a lot further. And because of that, everybody gets to their goals faster. You go further and you get there faster. This is the power of, as I said, synergy and in working with other people. This is the reason why, this is the main reason why you go to events. The main reason why you read books, hire coaches, join masterminds, etc., is the connections that you make with other people. Now, reading a book, you don't really make a connection with another person, but you are borrowing somebody else's brain. But when you go to events, when you go and shake somebody's hand, you meet people in person, there's a connection there that can't really be replicated through a digital device. Okay, and I talk about this often, and I'll keep talking about it because there are some of you who has the potential to do great things, but you won't be able to reach those great things all by yourself because there's only so much you can do as one person. There's only so much you know as one person. You're going to run out of time, you're going to run out of talent, one or the other. There is a strength and a synergy that comes with utilizing the brains of other people and being a brain that can be utilized by other people. So it's not just you using others, it's also you make yourself valuable to the group as well because you can bring something to the table. You're not just taking things off the table. That's the power of leveraging relationships. That's why relationships matter so much. So with that said, let's recap today's class, which is how to get to your goals faster. And if you're partaking in a personal and professional development show like this one called Work on Your Game, I'm assuming that you have goals, whatever they are. So if you apply these principles to your goals, you will get there much faster, guaranteed. Number one, be more specific. Human brain responds to specificity. Do not be vague in your goals. Do not be all wide and broad in your goals. Be specific and detailed in exactly what you want. Same way you would give your GPS a specific location, a specific address as to where you want it to take you. Do the same thing when it comes to your goals. If your address is not specific, it's going to take you to a general vicinity, but not to the exact spot you want to be. Number two, list your reasons for reaching the goals. Be specific in these as well. Remember that emotions are great gas pedals, terrible steering wheels. Your logic is the steering wheel. Your emotions are the goals. The reasons are the emotions. The logic are the goals themselves. So you need gas in order to drive a car. If you're sitting in the car and you know exactly what direction you want to go and you turn the steering wheel in that direction, but there's no gas in the car, where are you going to go? You're going to go nowhere. And if you have a whole bunch of gas in the car, but you have no idea where you're going, you just slam on the gas, where are you going to go? You might run into a wall or a fence or off a cliff. You need the combination of both of these, the logic of the direction and the emotion of the gas pedal. You need both of them working in conjunction. Neither one is bigger or better or above the other. They need each other. Neither one of them is useful on their own. They can actually be very destructive by themselves. You need both of them to keep each other in check. System of checks and balances. And number three, and let's help. This is the hardest one for many people to do, especially since many people are simply, they have antisocial habits. I'm not saying you're going to be all the way antisocial, but you got some habits of antisocial behavior simply because your digital connectivity has allowed many people to believe they don't need to deal with other people at all. They can just do everything on their own. Well, here's my question to you. How's that working out for you? Now, have you gotten to all your goals yet? Are you on track to get there? Given the amount of time it's taking you to get where you are so far, how long is it going to take you to get to all your goals? You don't like the answer to that question, and neither do I. And I don't even have to know you to know you don't like the answer to that question. So here's what you do instead. Start dealing with other human beings. I know it's uncomfortable. I know it's going to push you out of your comfort zone. I know it's not what you were expecting or wanting, let's say, to hear from somebody like me here today. That's the exact reason why I'm saying it. All right, that's why I do what I do. I'm not here to tell you the things that you want to hear. I'm here to tell you things that you need to hear. And this is what is going to take you where you want to go. So if you're the only one working on your goal, you are a failure point in your business because if something happens to you or you simply run out of time or talent, well, that's the end of your goals. You ain't going anywhere else. You're done. Do you want that to be the case? And guess what? You are getting to the point of running out of time or talent because there's only so much any one person has. I don't care how motivated, dedicated, strong, smart, whatever you want to call a person. even somebody outside of yourself who you admire. It's only so much any one person can do. If you look around at people who achieve a lot, you will notice, and some people are open about it, and some people, they are more covert about this, so you had to dig deeper to find this out. But anyone who I know who achieves at a high level, none of them is doing everything by themselves. Even if they are very talented, hardworking, determined, smart, etc., etc., they are utilizing other people. Nobody does it all on their own. So if you thought that was the case, somebody lied to you, or maybe you lied to yourself, but I'm here to tell you the truth. All that said, text me, tell me the best insight you got from today's class. My number is 305-384-6894. Secondly, go to workonyourgameuniversity.com. That's where you can hop on a coaching call with me if you're interested in getting into my coaching program. Get all access to all the courses if you want to go into the university courses section, and you can subscribe and get the Bulletproof Bulletin and the Masterclass Black Book mailed physically to your doorstep every single month, all at workonyourgameuniversity.com. Work on your game. Dre all day.